So before I start this video, I just want to say that this video is fair use, so all the media used in this video is used for criticism, review, or in a transformative way. All the info I present is public information, and everything else is alleged, a joke, or just my opinion. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Taylor Holden, who is a TikTok personality. I'm pretty sure he's part of the Sway House or one of the houses, I'm not entirely sure. So he recently released merch that looked very similar to merch released by this YouTuber named Corey. Corey died in a fatal car accident in May this year. And when people started to call him out on like stealing Corey's merch and stuff like that, he released a statement saying, "I'm excited to announce that I teamed up with the Corey LaBarrie Foundation for this merch drop. Corey was a super close friend of mine and I'm super thankful that his family has allowed me to partner with this brand / creation as part of my first drop, as this means so much to me." He also posted a video basically saying the exact same thing on his Instagram story, and somebody DM'd Corey's mother asking if this was in fact true, and she basically said that it wasn't and that she was very upset to find out this way. Joe Biden tweeted out a video and Harry Styles quote tweeted it and said, "If I could vote in America, I'd vote with kindness." And then a lot of people responded to that tweet saying shit like, "Vote Trump," and "Damn Harry, that's disappointing," to which somebody responded with, "Did you really think that a kind person like Harry would stand for a man who preaches hate, violence, guns, ignorance, racism, and so on? Really?" Somebody else responded to Harry's tweet saying, "You would vote for somebody who says that if black people don't vote for him, they ain't black. Someone who gets taken advantage of, someone who puts on a fake smile and pretends he's the best thing when he wants to cut funds and benefits for older Americans." And somebody else said, "To support a corrupt man who kisses his granddaughter and touches children very roughly is to fall very low." I'm just gonna say, if you have these criticisms about Joe Biden, you best have the same criticisms for Donald Trump as well, because there are a lot of parallels. That's all I'm gonna say.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the you can do anything.
A person who's flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
If you become president, will a woman make the same as a man? And do I get to choose what I do with my body?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. I want surveillance of certain mosques.
Negotiating with China. They say, we want deal.
I'm asking for the vote of every single African-American citizen in this country. What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? All of my friends in Little Havana.
And more news from Twitter. Texas social workers can no longer turn away LGBTQ or disabled clients. After backlash from lawmakers and advocates, a Texas state board voted to undo a rule change that would have allowed social workers to turn away clients who are LGBTQ or have a disability. In early October, the Texas State Board of Social Work Examiners voted unanimously to change a section of its code of conduct, which would allow social workers to turn away clients on the basis of disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity. The non-discrimination policy change recommended by Governor Greg Abbott's office drew immediate criticism. The Republican-led Texas legislature has long opposed expanding non-discrimination protections to LGBTQ Texans in variety areas of state law. Advocates called the move an attempt to create two classes of Texans. Lawmakers previewed a bill last week aimed at bolstering anti-discrimination protections. There is currently no law in Texas that protects LGBTQ people from discrimination. The board will also seek an opinion from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's office about the rule change's legality, but they have previously indicated that he would likely oppose those illicit protections in the social workers code of conduct. So next we have Jeffree Star, who is currently being sued by Anna Nicole Smith's estate over makeup line. The article reads that Jeffree Star is being accused of using Anna Nicole Smith to promote his makeup, and now her estate is coming after him. According to court documents obtained by The Blast, the estate of the late Anna Nicole Smith is suing Jeffree Star Cosmetics. The lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court. In the lawsuit, the estate explains they own the intellectual property rights, including all rights of publicity associated with the legendary model and actress Anna Nicole Smith. They obtained these rights after her passing on February 8, 2007. The estate accuses Jeffree Star Cosmetics of using Anna Nicole's name, image, and likeliness to advertise for sale and sell its different commercial products. Anna Nicole's estate recently discovered Jeffree is selling a lipstick called Anna Nicole and using Anna Nicole's name, as well as her signature red color. They accuse him of using her likeness on the marketing and packaging material. Apparently, this lipstick is one of his best-selling lipsticks. The plaintiffs say Jeffree never obtained permission from the state to use Anna Nicole on his products. Despite this, they claim he sold numerous products with her name. The lawsuit says Jeffree is also selling an Anna Nicole Nicole lip liner eyeliner. The estate points out the product was so popular it sold out on Jeffree's website. The suit points to Jeffree publicly saying the product is a top-selling product of all time. Anna Nicole Smith's estate is seeking unspecified damages. They want the court to order Jeffree Star to turn over all profits he made from the sale of Anna Nicole Smith's products. Jeffree has yet to respond to the lawsuit. The timing of this is also pretty ironic considering Tati also just got into a lawsuit. People are being very careful with what they say about this because apparently everything is alleged and nothing has been confirmed and everything is very touchy. But here's what the document says.
This is a lawsuit caused by the defendant's greed. Tati Westbrook, one of the first and one of the most successful YouTube beauty influencers in history, together with her new husband James Westbrook, planned a nutritional supplements business split 50-50 with Mr. Westbrook's old friend and colleague Clark Swanson. Before the business got off the ground, the Westbrooks, unhappy with owning only 50%, approached their business partner and sold him on a deal. The Westbrooks would commit to use Halo Beauty as Miss Westbrook's umbrella brand for all her beauty launches, cosmetics, skincare, fragrance, all of Tati Westbrook's beauty products. Mr. Swanson agreed to these terms. Halo Beauty's first product launch was a great success. As a result, Ms. Westbrook became virtually overnight a proven, highly profitable promoter. The Westbrooks made millions of dollars in distributions on the 16.66% of the business that Swanson gave them. With great momentum and significant sales, Swanson and Halo Beauty set out to launch additional products. The Westbrooks, however, got greedy. Instead of honoring their agreement with Swanson and honoring their fiduciary duties to Halo Beauty, the Westbrooks cut a separate deal to launch a cosmetics brand, a color palette, without Swanson and Halo Beauty. Future launches and makeup, cosmetic, accessories, and fragrance were also planned separately and without Mr. Swanson or Halo Beauty participating. As a result, Swanson and Halo Beauty have been robbed of the benefits of the agreement with the Westbrooks, and the Westbrooks continue to profit from an agreement they never honored.
So basically what this means is that when Tati and her husband came up with Halo Beauty with her husband's friend, it was supposed to be a 50-50 split between Tati and her husband and then the friend. And Swanson was needed for the company because he was essentially the one that could actually make all of it happen and actually create the products and all that stuff. They later changed their minds and decided that each person would get 1/3 of the profit, which means that Tati and her husband would get 2/3 and Swanson would get 1/3. And in order to convince him to take this, they basically promised that Halo Beauty was going to make about $30 million. I'm assuming they mean like within the first year or something. They also promised that none of Tati's friends would promote Sugar Bear hair, and these friends include Jeffree Star, James Charles, Manny MUA, and they promised that every single launch that Tati had would be under Halo Beauty. So if she released any like cosmetics, fragrances, anything like that, it would all be under Halo Beauty so that Halo would be like a parent company and be very diverse, and that these three people would make a bunch of money from different products and stuff that they would release under Halo Beauty. But obviously these weren't upheld because Tati released an eyeshadow palette without Halo Beauty or Swanson, and then James Charles promoted Sugar Bear hair after and during Coachella. So Swanson wasn't making the money that he like essentially should have been, but he also ended up losing money because he claims that James Westbrook, Tati's husband, liquidated his shares, which was unauthorized and illegal, but they were also just not releasing anything new under Halo Beauty, so he just wasn't making the money that he thought that he was going to be making. And obviously this all links back to the hit piece that Tati made on James Charles, Bye Sister, and then her follow-up or apology from earlier this year. I feel like everyone already knows it was very much primarily based on like vitamins, because Tati was very upset that James promoted Sugar Bear hair, but nobody really understood why she was so upset until now. Because in order to persuade Swanson to take the 1/3 deal, he had promised Tati that he was not going to promote Sugar Bear hair. But then that also means that though Tati has, I guess, more of a reason to be upset with James, she still downplayed her involvement in taking down James Charles. She did the whole thing of implying that he was a sexual predator in order to make everyone hate him. And then earlier this year in Breaking My Silence, she basically said she was manipulated by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson and essentially just shifting the blame entirely. And now we can see that that's not entirely true because she obviously had a big part to play in it. We already kind of knew that she had a part to play in it and that she was already kind of trying to persuade people that she had less of an influence over the situation than she really did. But this shows that this is essentially confirmation, I guess. A user on Twitter recently came out to say this about Paris Nicole. Trigger warning, grooming. Paris Nicole groomed me and I have screenshots to prove it. I've been sitting thinking about this shit non-stop, being angry, confused, and sad that I've had to accept this since I was 15, but I never said anything because I felt powerless. What he sent ranged from drawn NSFW to blank YouTube videos, and he'd asked me to compile blank for him using tags that he liked on certain websites. At age 15, I obviously did it because he's fucking Paris Nicole. I was just happy to be talking to him and I was trying to continue that. I have Discord screenshots going back 4 years, proving all of this, and I don't know if I should post them here, but I may. Either way, I'm done sitting here being quiet about it when I know mad people went through the same shit but are extremely traumatized and scared of talking about it.
To be honest, I pick you up, hug you while rubbing you against my huge sweaty moobs, then kiss your cheeks while telling you how much I loved you, and then kiss you on the lips and let out a hard, long belch into your mouth.
Huh? What? Is this really pyrocynical?
I'll eat your up with my ass. To be honest, fart so long and hard on your lap you wouldn't be able to breathe. My ass and back would be dripping in sweat. Got the thick of my dragon, by the way. My gut would just crush you. You would hear all the moaning and growling from the animals I've eaten beforehand, squirming around in my massive belly. Just what Alex was saying to me today about Keem. It reminded me of all the RP stuff I used to do last year. There's like so many people I did with it, it's unreal. I don't even remember who and how many. It's that bad. If any of them suddenly don't like my content or for whatever reason, they can just out me and then everyone else will start coming forward and all it takes is one person and it's a chain reaction. I was contemplating deleting my Discord and making a new one, but I don't think that deletes all the messages. So it's still there. I didn't ever ask for or anything like that. It was just furry. But yeah, it happened, and it's just a ticking time bomb. Every morning I wake up with anxiety and check my phone waiting for someone to message me saying, yo, have you seen what Keem tweeted? It's going to happen one day, and I feel fucking helpless. That's why I'm so quiet in calls and stuff. I'm just always thinking about it all the time. It takes up a large part of my life. It's unreal unless I'm in the best mood possible. I'm always thinking about it. Please don't share this message or anything. I haven't and can't tell anyone except you.
He shows Pyrocynical's video.
Feminists asking if mansplaining is real.
And then shows that he made a video for Pyrocynical and that Pyrocynical allegedly said,
bastard. I put that at the end of my new vid. Haha. Thanks for showing me, Ghost Boy.
You know, I don't understand what the hell just happened, but we'll accept it as evidence. At this point, even a piece of string cheese would be evidence.
I didn't realize that deleted Discord IDs were messed up if they're not taken from a member list on a group. The ID for his account is a whole bunch of numbers, and it should come up with his username when searched.
And he shared a screenshot with Pyrocynical's alleged account.
Final statement on Pyrocynical allegations. Before I say anything, here's proof for my screenshots and his user ID, along with messages from his current girlfriend that prove this is all real. I remember this happening personally, and it sounded to me like you had a crush on him and asked if he would.
Okay, well, it's not looking good for Pyrocynical.
I'd like to clarify that I'm not doing this for clout or public attention, and that I couldn't care less about that. This is a message to people who know Niall and know for a fact that this is true, but continue to stay silent. What matters to me is that there are multiple accounts of Pyrocynical abusing his power to be with his fan. Did he know your age? He did, but I don't have proof of that in message form. We talked often enough for him to know my full name, my ex-boyfriend, and Eyes Drama, and he followed me on Twitter on both of his accounts, where I've always had my age listed in my bio. He absolutely knew my age, and I know I told him multiple times. By the way, his girlfriend confirmed they knew I was underage in the video I posted on the previously linked Imgur. Why didn't you go to the police? I'm in the US, he's in the UK, and I don't see what good the police could have done with Discord messages where he sent me not safe for work. Him being predatory is obvious in those messages, but they're not something I feel I could build a strong enough case for in court. Along with that, the cost of an international case is the last thing I'd want to face. Why did you post inaccurate information when someone's career is on the line? I had that tweet in my drafts for a few weeks, and I posted it on a whim during a breakdown. I hadn't prepared the screenshots I needed because I honestly thought I wasn't going to go through with this until yesterday morning. And I thought to throw the user ID in a screenshot because my friend told me about it. What I didn't realize was that you had to copy the user ID from a member list if the account's deleted. Why are you just now coming out about this? I honestly thought I wouldn't have been able to handle the backlash from posting allegations of this sort, and that they wouldn't go far even if I did. While I do wish I would have come out earlier with this to some extent, I don't think I would have even been able to talk about this properly or realize the full consequences of this when I was younger and less mature. Along with that, the whole idea for me coming forward with this would have been closure for me instead of closure for fellow victims. And I'm honestly glad I waited until I went at it from the latter perspective. If you've been in a situation like mine, please know that you're not alone and that there are loads of people who are willing to support you.
Somebody then quote tweeted that saying, Niall sent similar furry NSFW to me. I was 18 at the time, so no issue there. In probably early 2017, me, Ivory, and Niall were all in and out of the same friend group, and it does not shock me that the same content was sent to others. It was known to all of us that Ivory was 15. Tamascocci also said, I 100% believe this, based on my own interactions with the dude. I'm definitely not happy to say that I got those vibes from him. I wouldn't accuse someone of anything without evidence, but this unfortunately sounds right on the money for his fan interactions. I fully thought this was a joke until I actually continued watching and reading about this, because it's so bizarre, and I'm confused as to why so many social media personalities think that anything like this would be a good idea. Obviously it's going to get out some way or another, so just don't be a creep and you won't get exposed. And the last thing I want to talk about is, I guess, Zoe Lavigne, but it starts off with Nikita, Dragun, and Tony Lopez. So obviously Tony Lopez has essentially admitted to being creepy with his underage fans, and his apology was truly something else. I made a video on it. If you want to watch it, you can, but essentially he was sexting a minor, and then his apology was like, I'm sorry, I did this because I'm new to LA and I'm new to being famous, and that's why I was texting a 15-year-old all this inappropriate stuff on Snapchat. And Nikita Dragun was kind of rumored to be involved with him, but obviously not, because she's of age and therefore not his type. But she was called by paparazzi, and they basically asked her questions about the situation, and she said, no, we're still very close friends, we're bestest of friends, and I still support him and all that stuff. And so Trisha Paytas ended up making these videos on TikTok.
So let's talk about the actual predator that Nikita Dragun is friends with, support, bestest friends. He's doing great. This is Tony Lopez, still on the app, and he has admitted to sexting and soliciting nudes to underage girls, way underage. 17 and under is underage, but way underage underage, a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, and he's still allowed on the app. Now, a lot of you may be like, oh, Trisha, you supported people who've made jokes and stuff in the past. This isn't a joke. This is an actual crime. Victims have come forward. There's actual people that he has abused, sexually abused, by asking for nudes of underage minors. And Nikita Dragun supports it, who also has a very large following on an app for children. Next predator on TikTok that people think there's nothing wrong with because it's a 19-year-old girl, Zoe Lavigne, kissing her 13-year-old fan. Let's talk about why it's wrong. Under the age of 18, it is illegal and it's a crime. And doing stuff with minors is extremely inappropriate because they're not fully developed. I think anyone under 25 really isn't fully developed. I guess if you're doing it within the age group, it's fine. But adults doing it with children, that is why laws are in place. There are actual studies that show how much it fucks them up psychologically. There are studies that have proven that they develop more severe disorders as they get older, and it's just completely inappropriate. And no 13-year-olds may think it's cool or whatever like that, but they don't know. The 19-year-old should know. She has since deleted her accounts, which of course means guilty, but clearly she's guilty. It's disgusting, and the fact that people aren't more riled up about this has me questioning social media.
And what we're going to focus on is Zoe Lavigne, because I believe before that picture came out, somebody hacked into or just got into Zoe Lavigne's ex's, I believe, Instagram, and then went through their messages with this girl called Amber. And this is what they found, which is incredibly concerning.
I'm gonna be honest with you in hopes that it truly stays between you and I, because I genuinely don't know what else to do. I left because of her interactions with Connor. They got very intense, and it's something that I do not stand by whatsoever. It's pedophilia. I told Zoe that if she stopped and minimized contact with him, she wouldn't have to lose me and that it didn't have to come to that. So she changed her story and said that she was joking about the things with Connor, but I knew at that point she was lying and they were both lying. Connor had reached out to me a few times apologizing about lying and that he knows I don't deserve to be lied to, etc, etc. He showed me that they stopped, but Dawson just reached out to me yesterday and said that they still FaceTime all day every day and haven't stopped. More into that, she became very toxic to my mental health after my breakup with Jack. She knew I was struggling mentally into a very dark place, and on one instance she went to the extent of making a fake texting app pretending to be Jack just to put me deeper into my mental hole. She saw that he was attempting conversations with me, which wasn't attention she was getting from you, and so on several counts she told me, as well as a few others, that you were making texting apps to her and calling her ugly, etc, etc. She at one point in front of so many said that you used to beat the shit out of her. I snapped on her because I grew up in an abusive household and told her that she had no idea what the meaning of having the shit bit out of her was. We've done nothing but thought about these things and she talks nothing but poor on you. I've watched her fake texts, fake calls, etc. Dawson and I spoke yesterday and he told me she's trying to be with him again, yet doing the whole lying thing to everyone else as well, because her and Connor. Nothing really makes sense to me on how somebody can lie so easily, and it terrifies me. I'm so sorry I wasn't looking at anything from your perspective when that entire situation came out. When I left California and was gone for so long, I almost forgot how easily manipulation comes from her. Now that I left Zoe, she has both her parents thinking I'm a horrible person that just did her so dirty. And while Zoe is 19, by law engaging in pedophilia with a 13-year-old, which is the only reason I left. I'm so happy you're doing well and finally found happiness, Cody. You deserve it. I'm almost there. He responds with, I really appreciate you being honest with me, but I'm so sorry for what she's done to you. That sounds fucking horrible and traumatizing. No one should have to go through that. It's a terrible stomach feeling, and I know exactly how it feels to be exhausted and anxious because of how somebody acts. I don't even know what to say about what Zoe said about me. She acts like she wants to be friends, and I have a whole recording saying, no, I can't be civil with you. I have so much to say, but I'm about to head into a meeting. I'll reach back out later. Remember your worth, Amber. It's how you'll push through everything, and I mean every single little thing. She then responded with saying, I know that I'll heal and I'll be alright mentally because of the support system I have here at home. Where I'm most worried about is Connor, because right now he won't understand because he's so young, but 10 years from now he's going to look back and say to himself, I was blank or I was blank. Because in all honesty, that's what it is. And the scary thing is, it's literally a matter of time before somebody turns her in or before his parents find out, and it breaks my heart for his mum because I'm actually close with her and she has no idea how they interact and speak with each other. It's heart-shattering, and Zoe is so fucking good at mind manipulation to make everyone believe she's the victim in every situation. Thank you for even reaching out. It means so much. I wasn't aware of her calling you or anything because she only ever says you are constantly trying to contact her, and she throws away so much shade on her fandom account about things like that.
Zoe has since come out on an Instagram live basically saying that like she knows not to do anything with a 13-year-old, but if you know enough about Zoe Lavigne and like how she is, then I don't think you would believe her. I guess it's kind of like he said, she said. However, these messages were supposed to be kept private, so I don't know what they would gain from keeping these messages private, because the only reason that they were leaked was because somebody apparently hacked into their Instagram account. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that Zoe Lavigne is a bitch. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video or if you liked me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like me, make sure to get in contact with my teachers because I bet you'll have a lot in common, and make sure to stay safe and stay hydrated.